The cool thing is none of us really know what we're doing. Like, I didn't know this shot would work. I had never shot with a projector in my life before this scene. The way to make a shot like this feel real is movement. Ryan, Nick, and Mitchell are constantly moving their lights, which makes it feel like Haley's passing cars and driving under streetlights. And if you pair that with handheld camera movement and a stock footage background, you can transform your driveway into a highway.
Man, the lights, like moving lights really helps. I know you said that in the video, but like it really makes it feel like she's going under street lamps and there's cars behind her. It really does.
Yeah. If you imagine you're driving down a highway, what's happening? You know, the cars are passing you, so you're going to have shadows. You're going to have overhead street lights and tons of reflections. So the main thing for me was like, just get 3 people on lights and have it look chaotic. And if I had more people, I probably would have had someone shaking the car a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just I didn't have enough friends. So it was like, this is good enough for the shoot. But like, yeah, the more you can try to mimic reality while being safe. In order to make this tiny car look like a big car, I have to film it really close up. And that's a problem because the closer I get, the shallower the depth of field becomes. In other words, parts of the car that should be in focus are now out of focus, which breaks the illusion because a real car doesn't look like this on camera.
What I love about that sequence is you do what we try to do on this show.
Yeah.
Where it's like entertaining, but I'm also kind of learning something as I'm being entertained. And you're like teaching people about depth of field, which is really cool. Is like part of the channel's philosophy and part of your philosophy, like you want people to kind of develop like, you know, a sense of the technicalities of shooting, or is that just kind of like part of the interest for you in terms of entertaining people?
Like when I make a video like this, my motivation for it a lot of the time is trying to make something that I wanted to watch when I was younger. There were great educators online, but I didn't find anything that was like entertaining / educational. And so honestly, a lot of it now is just like, what would my younger self want to watch? And then also, maybe if you're not interested in filmmaking, maybe I can make you interested.
Yeah.
And so I think it's kind of bridging the gap between entertainment and education. And I think my videos, they're a bit more entertainment focused, but if I can sprinkle education moments in there to hopefully encourage someone to be like, you know what, that's interesting, or now I know about this, that's exciting for me. Okay, listen to me very carefully. I need you to go dark.
What?
Is that camera shake on her? That's somebody just like going like this.
Yeah, I'm just holding it in my hands.
And just shaking it on purpose.
Yeah, I think I turned image stabilization off, and yeah, I'd just be like shaking and just directing Haley as she drove.
Okay, where am I going?
Exit 20.
Was that the mini car? This shot here.
Yes.
This is the small car.
Yeah, it's a small car.
I guess you can kind of see some of the depth of field stuff, but
Yeah.
that doesn't feel like a small car.
Yeah, it's crazy because that I think was filmed at f/22, but because of how I had to film it, you still get some parts of the car that are out of focus. So
Right.
I'm still learning like the best way to do it. I'm
Right.
sure there's other ways, different lenses, but I just used what I had. And there's definitely some things that kind of break the illusion. But I think if you have quick enough cuts, you can kind
Right.
of pull it off. I've always made short films to some degree. The tricky thing with YouTube is the more I made and the more I posted, I was like, no one is watching these. I think film school is awesome for meeting community, but I think it's also really cool that you can learn everything you need to online. YouTube Film School is a good one.